Have a look at factorising these trinomials. So the first one, 3x squared plus 10x plus 3. Alright, so we get the guide number by multiplying the first number by the last number. So that's plus 3 by a plus 3, so that guide number is a positive 9. Okay, so the next thing is to get the factors of 9, so that's 1 by 9 or 3 by 3. We need to pick which one of these is going to give us this. Let's go back in here. Which one is going to give us this middle number? We look over 10. So if I add these, I get 1 and 9 makes 10, so that works. If I minus them, 9 minus 1 is 8, that doesn't. Add these, 3 and 3 is 6, and minus them, 3 minus 3 is 0. Okay, so these don't work, but this top one does. So what should I say? It works if I add, so I need a plus on the 1 and a plus on the 9, and then that is my choice. Yep, so plus 1 plus 9 makes 10. So now I go back here and I rewrite my trinomial. But this time, instead of 10x, I'm going to split it up into 1x and 9x. And then I still have my 3. Okay, I'm going to make my groups. So group these together and I group these together. Okay, so 3 and 1. Common factor is 1. Remember, x squared is 2 x's. So with the 3, I have 2 x's, and with the 1, I have 1x, which means I have 1x in common. And I open up my brackets, and I'm going to divide by my highest common factor, which is 1x. So 3 divided by 1 is 3, and this x will cancel out one of these, leaving 1 behind. This 1x that I'm dividing by is positive, so signs are the same, meaning I get plus. 1 divided by 1 is 1, and the x's will just cancel. Over here, they're both positive, so we'll stick a plus down. Common would be 3 divides into both, and I don't have a common letter because 3 doesn't have a letter, so just 3. So I'll divide this by my plus 3, and I'll divide this by my plus 3. So signs are the same, mean my answer is going to be positive. 9 divided by 3 is 3. And then I have an x here, but I have nothing on the bottom, so that x just stays where it is. These signs are the same, which means I get a plus, and 3 divided by 3 is 1. So I need to check my brackets match. So, check that these match. So here I have a plus 3x and a plus 3x, which means they match. And then I have a plus 1 and a plus 1, so I'm good to go. So I write down my matching bracket, and I write down my highest common factors in a bracket. Alright, so that is my answer. 3x plus 1, 1x plus 3. Alright, next then. Question 4 is 5a squared plus 9a plus 4. Okay, so let's go guide number. It's the 5 and the plus 4. So that's going to give us a guide number of plus 20. So we go factors, which is 1 by 20, 2 by 10, 4 by 5, 3, and that's it. Okay, now you don't need to write it all, so I'm going to try and start streamlining this a little bit. So we're looking for a plus 9. Okay, so with the 1 and the 20, I can add them to get 21, which is not going to work, or I can minus them to get 19, which is not going to work. Okay, the 2 and the 10, if I add them, I'm going to get 12, which is a no. If I minus them, 10 minus 2 is 8, so that's a no. Okay, so here, if I add them, 4 plus 5 makes 9. Excellent. If I minus them, I get 1. So adding is going to work. So if I go a plus and a plus, then that is my choice. There it is. All right. So we go back and we write our 5a squared. Now, instead of writing the 9a squared, I'm going to split it up into its factors. So it's going to be plus 4a plus 5a, and then I still have the plus 4 at the end. Okay, so let's group them off. Yuki. I don't know where my colours went. Okay, so my factors of 5, that's just 1. The only thing that divides into 4 and 5 is just 1. This a is, I don't know if I need to keep doing this, but it's 2 a's. That's the same thing. So I have an a in common. I can open up my bracket, and then I divide by 1a here, and I divide by 1a here. So 5 divided by 1 is 5, and then this a takes out one of these, leaving 1 behind. This 1a is a plus 1a, so the signs are the same, means I get a plus. 4 divided by 1 is 4, and the a's will take each other out. Onto the second bracket, they're both positive, so we'll go with a plus in the middle. Again, it's a 5 and a 4, so the best we can do is 1, and here we don't even have a letter in common, so it's just 1. So I'm going to divide by plus 1 to both. Okay. So signs are the same here, means I get a plus. 5 divided by 1 is 5, and then I'm left with the a because there's nothing on the bottom. And here pluses means signs are the same, so my answer is plus, and 4 divided by 1 is 4. So do they match? This one and this one. Let's have a look. So this is a plus 5a, and this is a plus 5a, so yes, they match. And a plus 4 and a plus 4. So write down our answer, which is 5a plus 4 in the matching bracket and 1a plus 1 in the non-matching bracket. There's your answer. Sorry, I don't know what the colours are doing on me. So I have 5, which is 2x squared minus 3x plus 1. 2x squared minus 3x. Right, I put this on purpose because it's kind of the first time we've had a minus, I think. So let's see. So we have a 2 and a plus 1 to get our guide number first and last. So the guide is 2 times 1 is plus 2. So factors are 1 by 2. Okay, so this has to be our option. Yeah, because there isn't anything else. 2 is prime, so there's only one set of factors. Now, if I add them, which is what I've been doing so far, 1 plus 2, I get 3, and if I minus them, 2 minus 1, I get 1. Okay, so here's my 3, right, which is great. I know it works. The problem is I'm not looking for plus 3. I'm actually looking for minus 3. So, how do I use these two to get a minus 3? Okay, so instead of 2 pluses, what you need is 2 minuses. Minus 1 minus 2 makes minus 3. Does that make sense? Okay, so anytime you add them together and generate a number, like if you look up here, if we added together the 4 and the 5 to generate the 9, I could have made that a minus 4 and a minus 5 to get minus 9. Okay, so you can always play around with the signs just by, literally just by changing them to 2 minuses. Okay, so when I get to 3, that works. The problem is it's not a plus 3, it's a minus 3. So I don't put 2 pluses, I actually put 2 minuses. Okay, so we go over here. Instead of minus 3x, I'm going to put in my 2 new bits. So minus 1x minus 3x. Sorry, that's wrong. Oh, maybe it's working now, actually. Hang on. Sorry, it's very glitchy today. Sorry, so it's minus 1x and minus 2x, I should have written, and then plus 1. Okay, we're working again. So put in my groups. So here's the first one, and here's the second one. Okay, so here common is a 1, and again I can write this as 2 x's, so I can clearly see that I have a common x. Get my green, I'm going to divide by, this is a positive 1x, so divide by a positive 1x. Okay, So here I have a plus and a plus, so that's a positive answer, that's fine. 2 divided by 1 is 2, and then this x will take out one of these, leaving 1 behind. Here I have different signs, which means my answer is minus. 1 divided by 1 is 1, and the x's will take each other out. Now here, look here. Here's the situation where I don't know whether I go plus or minus. Okay, so we'll just pick minus. A 2 and a 1, common to that is just 1, and I've no common letter. So I'm going with minus 1 to see if it works. Alright, so a minus and a minus, the signs are the same, which means I'll get a plus. 2 divided by 1 is 2, and then I have my x because there's nothing on the bottom to cancel it out. And here I have a plus and a minus, so different signs give me minus, and 1 divided by 1 is 1. Now how will I know if I chose right? You'll know because you check these brackets and see do they match. Okay, so I have a positive 2x here, and look, I have a positive 2x here. Good start. I have a minus 1 here and a minus 1 here, so they do match. So I picked right. So I write down the matching bracket, which is 2x minus 1, and I write down the common factors, which is 1x minus 1. Ooh, highlighter yellow, insert a square, insert a square. Alright, and there's my answer. Okay, so kind of the rules don't change at all when you introduce a minus. It's just this thing we hadn't really done before. So it's about looking at your chosen factors and using signs to generate that number in the middle. And up until now, we've only had to generate positive numbers, but it's quite easy to generate a negative number. You just use different signs. Okay, so if I add 1 and 2, I get 3. I don't want 3, I want minus 3. So just make them both minus 1 and minus 2. Okay, the minuses do make your factors a little bit more difficult because you have this thing here where you're like, I have to pick. Doesn't matter though. You know, we know how to do that, so it's fine. So yeah, minus does make it a little bit more challenging, but it doesn't change the rules. Okay, so please, again, I know how hard these are. Go through these in detail and make sure you understand